Okay. Hi, everyone. I am Katie Taylor, certified child life specialist and host of Child Life on Call. This is a podcast that was created to give parents of children who have an illness or medical needs or special needs a safe place to come and share their stories with each other and also hospital staff. So I have been a child life specialist in the field for just over 12 years now, and I have learned a lot along the way. And my passion has really grown since I myself became a mom back in 2015. I have two kiddos. Cameron is 3, my daughter, and Wesley, my son, is 6. And they are amazing and crazy and all of the things. And so I talk a little bit about them on the podcast sometimes, but mostly my role is just being the vehicle and the platform for parents to share. I think I have the opportunity to provide a really quiet and calm and peaceful place for them to share kind of intimate and vulnerable details about what it's really like to have a child who is sick or has needs or has been hospitalized. And I would never cease to be just completely in awe of parents and what they have to go through to be there for their child. So that's kind of a little bit about the podcast. This is the 100th episode, which is why, as you can see, I have decided to actually do a video podcast, which is way outside my comfort zone. Yes, I just ran and put some eyeliner and mascara on and some lipstick, so I didn't look terrible. But I don't know. I feel like as the podcast grows, I want to keep up with what you all want. And I know when I listen to other podcasts, I love hearing about what the host is going through personally, professionally, all of it. So I wanted to just have an opportunity to get to know you guys, let you guys get to know me a little bit. So I'm going to start just kind of giving my thoughts about the holiday season and one thing that I've observed. And then I also found a set of questions that I am going to ask myself, which is not awkward at all. But anyway, I think it might be pretty interesting for you to get to know me a little bit more, child life a little bit more, what a child life specialist does. And I don't know. We'll see how this goes, right? It's the 100th episode, the end of the year. We absolutely have to celebrate. So I was writing this morning and creating a written piece of work for someone that I do consulting work for, a great organization called Piper and Enza. And she asked for me to give her the child life perspective of dealing with holiday feelings. And I had to really look introspectively. And I think as a child life specialist, we have knowledge of child development and the psychosocial impacts of illness and hospitalizations and stress. And so I've been able to apply a lot of that to my own life. And one thing that I've noticed is just for myself specifically in my family is that usually the anticipation of the event carries great emotion, almost more so than when the event takes place itself. And I think about that really like as I'm planning to put up Christmas decorations, like this year's the perfect example. I was so looking forward to Christmas, and my kids are at this really fun age, but I also have a ton of stuff going on in my professional life and building this company and doing a startup. And the kids have been sick nonstop and just all the other things that come with it. And I did not want to do it. My husband actually got the boxes down from the attic and they sat around for a while before I could even pull them out. And even putting them out was like, ugh, I wasn't in the mood for it this year. But that's an example of how the anticipation of something is actually way better or sometimes way worse. And I think about the hospital, sometimes the anticipation of, is this going to hurt? Is it going to be painful? Is it going to be uncomfortable? Sometimes that is way worse than what actually happens. Getting shots for kids, my son included, it's the buildup for him that's really hard. That's the hard part. And then when the shot's over, it's like, oh, okay, well, it wasn't that bad. So as we kind of drift into the holidays, I think I know myself, I can put a lot of pressure on wanting it to be perfect, wanting it to accomplish all of the things that I want, wanting my son to love the gift that I get him, or my mom, the gift that we pick out for her. And I just have to recognize that that in itself, like these moments of getting excited about giving it to them, that's worth paying attention to. And the actual moment of when they open the gift and if they like it or not, and if there's disappointment on their face or surprise or glee or despair, whatever it is, that's separate. And there can be both things at the same time. So I think I'm just going to look for the joy when I see it. And maybe try to stay away from some of those expectations. Another quick example I'll give you is like, yes, we're going to have Christmas cookies. We're going to decorate the icing. We're going to do this great gingerbread house. Then it completely falls apart. It looks terrible. There's a mess everywhere. We have to get to bed. So anyway, look for the joy where you can find it. Maybe it's not exactly in that detail that you were thinking, but maybe it's before or after. So that's just my tiny little TED talk for today. We'll be right back. Incentives work. They work in healthcare and they work with kids. Think about it. If hospitals provide free rides to patients, they show up on time for their doctor's appointments. Teachers use incentives to encourage academic achievement. Hope for Henry unites these truths to ignite the power of incentives to help pediatric patients do the things they need to do to get better. It works every day at hospitals around the country. Child life specialists are trained to use this program, and they're reporting that 58% of their patients don't need sedation for certain procedures, and 95% of their patients are using super rewards and having an overall improved patient experience. Kids at hospitals like the Cleveland Clinic, Inova Children's Hospital, Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, and so many more are feeling more cooperative, less anxious, and having a better patient experience because of super rewards, a state-of-the-art incentive program. To learn more about Hope for Henry, check out their website at www.hopeforhenry.org and bring super rewards to your hospital. Follow Hope for Henry and contact them through social media at Hope for Henry. So here are some of the questions I found, and section 2 here, we're going to relate this a little bit more to child life. So the question is, what is a commonly held belief about your role that you passionately disagree with? I think the easy answer for child life specialists is our role just the play lady? We absolutely know that it is not, but that is a lot of times what people see us doing. Specifically, I have been called the girl with the iPad, and now there is an Instagram account called the girl with the iPad, and it tells different child life jokes and memes. But I think that can be hurtful for us because there's a method to our madness, right? There's a method to our play. No, it's not something we should skip out on for kids when they're hospitalized or going through a hard time or coping with grief and loss. Play is instrumental, and it's the way that they learn. And so I think the commonly held disbelief is that we need to absolutely say, no, we are not the play lady, and maybe embrace, yeah, guess what? Part of what I do is play, and it's incredibly important. So I think maybe that's what I would say for this one. The second question is, what do you wish your younger self knew about your current profession? I would say that I wish I knew I could create opportunities for myself that didn't follow the road that was laid out for me. And that if you have a dream, you can accomplish it. And I don't know if I wish my younger self knew that, because maybe I'd be a little bit too cocky back then. Because I do think that there is some really important part of following the journey the way it's meant to be laid out so that you can learn framework and then you can take your other gifts, your other skills and go forward. So if I had 10 times the budget, good question, that I have now, what would I spend it on? I'm going to talk about two things. I'm going to do child life on call, and then I'm going to do child life in the hospital. Oh, if I had 10 times the budget right now, I would be hiring child life specialists left and right. I would be gearing up our content to be beyond just what I'm able to figure out and create with the help of my amazing students. I have lots of dreams for Child Life on Call, and yes, give me all of the money. Okay. If I were a child life specialist in the hospital and I had 10 times the budget, I mean, no doubt, iPad in every room. And I think iPads and technology are just so important for families to be able to connect, to have some distraction, to research. And there are just so many amazing things that technology can give us. And if we can give families access to those at all times from the comfort of their own room, I think that would be just fabulous. What's something everybody in your industry should stop or start doing? This one is easy. If you're a child life specialist or a child life student or a parent of a child with an illness or medical condition, or just a parent in general. Okay, humans. Okay, we're opening up this so broad. Think about mental health as part of your physical health. I have anxiety and it has flowed into depression, which I have learned just this year. I never would have called it that before, but I'm learning so much through therapy. I should have been processing and practicing processing for a long time. I've had some events in my life, just like we all have, that deserve time and attention for what it did to me emotionally, physically, and all of that are added on top of what we see in the hospital and around families and children who suffer and are in pain are incredibly important to look at. And so I would say mental health is health, no matter how you want to practice. If you want to get a therapist, mindfulness works for you, you exercise. And I don't know, I caution you with the exercise one, so long as you use it productively to process. I know myself, I can actually use exercise to get away from some of what I'm feeling and concentrate on something else. So I would say mental health is physical health. It's just as important. Next question. What's the biggest challenge the industry is facing today? I would say the biggest challenge that child life is facing today is a lack of digital tools and resources to help them accomplish their job. And then secondly, the high cases of burnout and lack of self-care and the ability to self-advocate for child life specialists. I'm going to add one more. Another challenge is the salary. We are not paid well enough. Our fees to be part of memberships and organizations are incredibly expensive. If I want to attend a conference, it's incredibly expensive. And I get that that happens in all disciplines. My husband is a nurse anesthetist and his stuff is not cheap, but he makes significantly more money. And that goes with, I would never be able to do this podcast if I didn't have him as a partner and being so supportive of us going after Child Life on Call. And I recognize that fully, that I could not be doing this as a child life specialist without that kind of support and security. So I'm doing it. I'm doing it for all of us. And I want all of the input because it's not just what I think and what I need. I'm trying to build a service for child life specialists. Where do you self-educate? I self-educate podcasts, listening to other parents, listening to other healthcare professionals, trying new things. I never would have learned how to podcast if I didn't get onto YouTube. And if I were going to write a book, what would it be about? I have a lot of topics in mind. But one is just sharing the stories and the wisdom that we have gathered on this podcast for the past 4.5 years, over 105,000 downloads of parents giving such wisdom to the younger selves and also to parents who are out there going through the same kind of thing. All right, let me look here. That is the last of the questions. This was really fun. I'm sorry you had to listen to me talk the whole time. If you like these, let me know. I guess I could try to do a few more of them, but happy 100th episode to Child Life on Call. Happy birthday to us. Happy holiday season. Happy New Year. I'm so grateful you're a part of this journey alongside me. And there are so much cool, fun things to come in 2022. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening to the Child Life On Call podcast. I'm your host, Katie Taylor, and you can follow us at Child Life On Call on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Please rate and review to make it easier for other families to find us. We have cute merch available at www.bonfire.com/store/childlifeoncall, and you can listen to more episodes and find resources at childlifepodcast.com.